So My Happy Marriage Season 2 is officially here and it returns on one spicy ass bang. You say, hey, Season 1, yeah, there's a lot of family spice, but I'm sure they ain't gonna go crazy at least too soon. And then, Aborkuda pops up and tells his mom, you talk like that again? You try to hurt my girl again? I will kill you. That ain't love, I don't know what is. So I just finished season 1 last night. I watched it over 2 days. I watched that and the OVA, and I thought it was fantastic. I wanted to get a video up similar to what I did for the Apothecary Diaries before season 2 dropped, but busy season, didn't have time. So I'll probably briefly talk about my thoughts of season 1 in this video, but yeah, I mean, I don't expect this show's gonna do well on my channel. I really don't. I'm welcome to be proven wrong, but I highly suspect that this will get maybe 1 or 2 videos and then it will be a Patreon exclusive. Because these types of shows, despite me loving so much, just rarely do well. So I'm going to say right now, if you want me to cover this one weekly, like, comment, get the views up. If you show me you want it, I will deliver. Because I will be watching it no matter what. And episode 1 of season 2 is a very strong episode. It didn't take long for season 1 to hook me in. And while I do think post Mio's kind of family life kind of calming down, it wasn't as engaging as before. I still really liked the supernatural stuff they did, and I think given with where we're laying the building blocks of season 2, we're in for a really good season. Now, of course, if you want to support my work, I do have full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and cut thought to any of these episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. And like I said, if this show doesn't do well on YouTube, that's where I'm going to be watching it. I did watch season 1 on my own, so there's no reactions for that, but we will be covering season 2 over there no matter what. So I do want to briefly give some thoughts on season 1, just because obviously I don't have a video on it, but we will mainly be talking about episode 1 of season 2. Overall, this kind of like Cinderella tale was very good. Essentially, you deal with emotional and physical abuse on your character Mio, who just, the poor girl. There was definitely some fun little twists along the way, like the fact that I was really, for most of season 1, under the assumption her like dream ability, which was, being hinted at from pretty much the very beginning. I figured it wasn't like it got sealed away. I figured it was just, it took a while for it to unleash, and because of that, she had to suffer such emotional and physical abuse from arguably one of the worst families in recent anime memory. Then it turns out the mom actually sealed her to protect her, and it's tragically beautiful. But the idea of how they handled these 2 very different characters from 2 very different upbringings. You have a man who was constantly being thrown into engagements and just viewed these women as, they're trying to take his power, his money, his name, whatever else. And it's understandable why he has such like a hostility towards her. And then you have a girl who just thinks so little of herself that, if you say to die, she'll die because she knows her place. And how quickly they both start opening up to each other. It's such a beautiful tale. It really is. And I think that's what I really like about the intro to season 2, is there's a couple of moments that really play off of the character development of the first season. One of the ones that I really appreciate, which might go underappreciated in this episode, is the moment when the 2 have a walk after the whole mother debacle. They're kind of like holding hands, they're talking, and she basically, pleads to him that, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth, I'm not holding anything in. Because that was a big thing in the first season about how she was really holding on to a lot of stuff because she didn't want to inconvenience her husband-to-be, and I just love that genuine, I promise you everything's good here, I just want to get along with your mother, which really does show just how kind of a soul she is, because the amount of abuse she went through with her own family to almost immediately be given something that probably reminds her of how she was treated from before, but still desperately wanting to make it work. And I totally suspect what they're building into is that the mother's not going to be the worst thing ever, but she a bitch as it stands. There's no other way to put it. I have a suspicion it's probably going to be a combination of things. Mixture of he never settles down, so she's like, I don't want to get connected to anyone because he never actually settles. Maybe she feels like he wasted potential, he had greater things. It's going to be a lot of combination of not living up to expectations, and then clearly a son who wants nothing to do with the mother. It just caused a wedge. At the end of the day, though, she a bitch. It's surprising because when you look at his sister, when you look at his father, and you look at him, like, hell, even the butlers and the maids are all very pleasant people, even if they're emotionally more draining than he is. Like, they're very much extroverted people where he feels a little more introverted. At the end of the day, you don't get the impression he comes from a toxic family environment, and then you meet the mother and you're like, oh shit, here we go again. I do suspect before the season's over, the mom's gonna end up liking her to some degree, If not, I'm okay with that because I do like the drama in terms of family squabbling that this show brings up. But either way, when she's like, "Who's this servant?" and I'm like, "Oh, for the love of God." My boy summoned a damn thunderstorm to say, "Bitch, what'd you just say about my wife to be?" And then she had the audacity to say, "Control your emotions." Oh my God. This is gonna be drama gold. It really is. I love too that the dad, like, basically blasts an air conditioner between them because temperatures were getting a little too spicy. I do kind of wonder though the full direction they're gonna go because the dad just the personality she's giving off, you wouldn't suspect a man like that to be with her. So it could be a situation where behind closed doors these two get along very well and maybe he calms her down. Maybe there's a lot of stress we just don't know about. It doesn't excuse the actions of how she's talking to Mio, of course, but it does, it could explain. Either way, I'm kind of curious if they'll go the direction that maybe the father for many years has been underplaying the kind of emotional abuse she gives off, and I don't know. But the only way I think mother and son even reach a sort of middle ground is if they both take a couple of steps forward. I don't suspect it's going to be one completely owning up to everything, but time will tell. If anyone can be the bridge, it's going to be our girl because she comes from a worse emotional abuse family. She came from a family that locked her in a shed and physically kicked the shit out of her because she wouldn't give up her fiance. Like, come on. If anyone can deal with shitty families, it's gonna be this girl. It's a beautiful show, though. It is. It gets you infuriated in the right ways, and when it gets you infuriated, you're excited for the success that could happen. And I know based on, at least, I mean, I could be misinterpreting it, but from my understanding of seeing people talk about the show when it initially aired, and just briefly looking at some of the comments from later episodes, it seems like a lot of people didn't enjoy the supernatural stuff as much as the emotional family drama on top of the romance stuff. For me, I liked both sections, but I do agree that when it was the most drama filled or romance filled, it was at its best. But with that said, the action and the supernatural stuff was content I very much enjoyed. And given the fact that we're probably going to have all that content and more, I think season 2 has the potential to be an even more enjoyable season than, say, the first. Will it? Only time will tell. I know this is 13 episodes, and I'm definitely here for more. I hope I can keep doing this one on YouTube. I would be welcome to be proven wrong, but usually when it comes to shows like these, they barely break 1,000 views. So if you want more, let me know, because right now I don't got faith. Prove me wrong. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, though, on episode 1 of season 2. Are you going to keep on watching this one? And how excited are you for more? Thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we've got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Luke Brownfield, Light Shadow, Devin Diego, K2C5, Nemus, Ashley Hawkham, Alessandro, and we also have Sphinx Face, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.